Hi, I'm Matt, a Swiss photographer, and right now I'm traveling through Japan. So today I'm in the area of Asakusa here in Tokyo, and I'm going to be testing out the 35 and 50mm f2 contemporary lenses from Sigma. So right here I got the Nikon Zf with the Sigma 35 f2 contemporary adapted with the Megadap adapter from E-mount, Sony E-mount to Nikon Z-mount. Works pretty well so far, and today I want to test out the autofocus on this lens and just the overall performance. One thing I added is a square hood from Hauge, I think it's called. I think it's a Swedish brand. Also metal, and just goes on like this, exactly like the lens hood that comes with the lens itself, but it just looks cooler, I guess, and it fits the overall aesthetics of the Nikon Zf. And the 50mm is actually pretty much the same, despite some differences in length. I think, yeah, the 50 is a bit longer and maybe also a bit heavier than the 35, but both are pretty compact lenses. And yeah, I would say let's go try them out and dive into the area of Asakusa. So it's been a couple of days since I shot the first half of this video back in Tokyo. Since then we flew to Okinawa and spent some time here on this beautiful island. So back in Tokyo I got my first real world impressions of the 35mm and the 50mm Sigma contemporary lenses, and I'm gonna sell them and I'm gonna tell you why exactly. So first let's talk about the positives of these lenses. The build quality is actually pretty nice. I think they're built completely out of metal. Maybe the focus ring is some sort of plastic, but the rest I think is aluminum. Yeah, that's pretty nice. They have a very nice clicky aperture ring right here. The focus ring turns super nicely, and just overall they feel pretty premium and pretty well built. Image quality, I think they look pretty sharp. Of course, if you open them up to f2, there's gonna be some not so sharp areas in the edges of the frame, but that's normal. Yeah, second is the size. I think they are for me, I think they're pretty good size for what they are, f2, and they don't feel too heavy. They're pretty small. I think even some of the APS-C lenses I got from Fuji back in the days were the same size, so that's pretty nice. Of course, they are not super light because of the metal build, but they are also not too heavy. They feel pretty good on the camera. They don't make the camera too too front heavy. But why am I gonna sell them anyways? So first of all, the autofocus isn't just that great. They were pulsing a lot when opened at f2. You might say, okay, that's because you're using an adapter and it's not their native system. These are Sony E-mounts and I use them with the adapter on the Nikon Zf. But when I attach the Sony 2470 to the Nikon, it's a lot faster and it doesn't hunt for focus nearly as much as these do. It's not bad, but it's definitely something that I noticed when using them. And of course, if you're going to darker environments, then it's gonna get worse. So I didn't just use them on this shoot during the nighttime or in the evening, like you just saw in the video before, but I also used them during the daytime, and same thing there. Open up at f2, they're pulsing and hunting for photos quite a lot. So of course that's because the focus plane is much shallower than at, let's say, f8. At f8 they work not that bad at all, but I found myself using manual focus mode when I had these lenses on, and I don't see the point why I should put on this lens, this autofocus lens, when I could also just use my native manual focus lenses, which are a lot cheaper and yeah, basically give me the same workflow as with these, but in manual focus. So that's one reason for me. And the second reason And this probably has to do a bit more with my overall goal of this system, this camera, and this photography gear for street photography. And that is that I think I made a step in a wrong direction for me personally, in a sense that I bought the Nikon Zf for myself, for enjoying photography in a slowed down way, and in a way that I focus more on the composition. I take my time and really just slow down with this camera setup. Therefore, I don't need autofocus lenses. In the end, I must say I somehow enjoyed the process a lot more with the Konica 35 and the Minolta manual focus lenses. I enjoyed that process more with those lenses than when I had the Sigmas on the Nikon Zf. So yeah, I think I'm gonna sell them when I'm back at home. So those are my thoughts about the 50 and 35mm contemporary lenses from Sigma, and hope to see you in the next video, probably from Okinawa, and until then, bye.